What's going on YouTube? Welcome back to another video. Before we get into today's topic, I want you guys to go follow me on Instagram. That's where I post a lot of more recent updates on the Mustang and just whatever I'm doing in my life. I post it on Instagram a lot more often than YouTube because it's just way easier to post a photo. Also, the links are in the description if you guys did not catch it on the screen. For today's video, we are going to be talking about the pros and cons of a catback exhaust system versus an axleback. It's hard to compare to headers because it's like a subcategory of the exhaust because headers is in correlation of a catback to get more power. I'll explain a little bit more of what that means. This is basically a video for anyone that doesn't know the difference between a catback and an axleback. This video is also kind of in parallel with another video that I uploaded about a month ago. It did pretty well. It's around 17,000 views right now. It was a comparison between the catback on my car, which is the MagnaFlow competition, and the muffler delete that was on my friend Jeff's S550, which is what I had actually before I got the catback exhaust system. So it's going to be talking about the differences between the two. So one of the main reasons anyone does exhaust on their car is because they want to open up the engine and they want to hear a better tone when they're driving. You can pretty much get almost any sound you want with an axleback exhaust system or a catback. So there are axleback systems that you can pair up with X pipes and H pipes to be even louder than my catback exhaust system. So one or the other isn't going to be louder. It just depends on what system you go with and what company you go with. So for example, I have the MagnaFlow competition. It's in the medium range for loudness, a bit of drone, and not a lot of rasp. With the Roush axleback, say, with an X pipe, you get a lot more rasp, a lot more loud, but you get less drone. So you can go with an axleback that's a lot louder than a catback. It just depends what company you go with. So there's really no comparison between the two. It just depends on what you choose. So I can't say that a catback or an axleback is going to be better than the other, but it just depends on what you choose, like I've been saying. Another main reason someone goes for an exhaust system is because of power gains. Now this is another topic that is kind of controversial because even with the catback exhaust system, you don't get a ton of power out of it. If any, that's noticeable. You don't really get a lot of power gains between the two. Now there's an exception. If you go with the catback, it opens the exhaust system up a bit. On the stock S550s, I believe it's 2.25 inches on stock exhaust, and when you upgrade to a catback, most of them are 3-inch mandrel bends. So you get a lot more flow in your exhaust system, which still doesn't do anything, but when you pair it with a set of headers that opens up all the way from the engine, you get a lot more power if you go catless headers 3-inch all the way back full exhaust. Now if you are staying stock headers and you're not going catless and you're not looking for a ton of power with the exhaust, I would say that catback is your best bet with looking for like the most power if you're staying stock headers, but you're really not going to be noticing a ton of horsepower difference if there's any. So between the two, like I said, again, it's hard to compare because either one of them doesn't really give you a lot more horsepower, but the best bet for you is going to be going with the catback. Just in case you guys want to pair it with a set of headers, you can get more power out of it that way. It's also hard to compare differences between the stock exhaust and the catback exhaust system weight, just because on MagnaFlow and American Muscle, they do not offer the weight for the exhaust system, which is really interesting and kind of weird and kind of stupid. But the stock exhaust on the Mustang GT weighs about 71 pounds, 2 ounces. With eliminating that exhaust and putting on a stainless steel exhaust system, you can cut back, I would assume, around 10 to 15 pounds, because you could definitely tell the weight difference between the two exhaust systems when you install your new catback exhaust. So far, between the two exhaust systems, catback and axleback, we haven't found a winner. We've talked about sound, and it really just depends on what company you go with, depending on how loud you want your exhaust. We've talked about performance. If you're not going headers or catless, you're really not going to get power out of either one of them. And we've talked about weight. Once again, depending on which company you go with, depending on if you go stainless steel or not, you won't see a lot of weight difference between the two. Now the fourth topic we're going to be talking about is really going to be deciding which route is better to go with. We're going to talk about price, and that's going to be the deciding factor on the two. All right, we're going to switch over to my phone here. This is the catback exhaust system that I have on my car. It's the MagnaFlow competition. It's their competition series, not the street series, so it's a little bit louder. On American Muscle, they are running it at $1,121.42. So with shipping, I would assume it's around $1,200. That is for a full catback exhaust. If we come down here, if I didn't go with the catback and I went with an axleback with an X pipe, I'd probably go with the Roush axleback exhaust system, which is running at $574.99, so around $600 for shipping. And pairing it up with the SR Performance cut and clamp resonator delete or the X pipe, and this guy is going to be running you $124.99. If we come over to the calculator here, which is right up there, we added the two together, it's about $700. Now if we subtract 700 from 1200, which is what the MagnaFlow is, we're saving about $500. If you're sticking with just catback or axleback, you're not going to be touching the headers or the cats. You just want sound, you just want that little bit of performance from the catback exhaust. It looks like going axleback is kind of the best way to go. You're going to be saving money, going to be about the same weight as a catback exhaust system, and you're going to be getting whatever sound you choose depending on what company you go for. In my case, I went with the catback just because I wanted to do the full system at once, and I want to be going catless headers eventually in the future for more power. So for me, it's better that I went with the catback exhaust system. And obviously it's going to range between what catback exhaust you go for, if you want stainless steel or not, depending on what axleback you go for. If you get your X pipe done at a shop, you don't have to buy a resonator delete kit. You can get a shop to weld in 2.25 inch pipes all the way back. It just depends on the route you guys go for. But I hope that was somewhat informational for you guys who are trying to choose between axleback or catback exhaust system. For me, I went with catback, like I said, because I want that catless header power in the future. If you guys have any questions, comment down below. I hope this video was informational and helpful for you guys. I will catch you on the next one. Peace out.